Welcome back to another Ethereum update, and as you saw by the thumbnail in yesterday's video, we were talking about how 3.6k is the target in the immediate short term. The videos that I've been bringing out the last couple of weeks were saying that 2.7 to 2.8k is what's stopping this journey to 3.6k. And with Bitcoin finding resistance, this could also lead to Ethereum rejecting this area. But the last couple of days were looking extremely bullish, and the point of making that video yesterday, we were up at 2.88k. Now we can actually see since that video, the daily candle close was put in and it was back under 2.8k. So that puts a halt to the breakout. But we've made a higher high above this range, and all that needs to follow is a low that is higher than the previous. So we've seen down over here, the 200 EMA being the red line was lost and swiftly reclaimed. Now, if we look to the left, when it came down to the 200 EMA here, it set some wicks. Now that actually becomes the true support. It creates a box just like that, and that is your support. So we tapped into that support area and then broke back out, made a new local high above these. So we're doing everything right, even though we've come into a short-term brick wall. All that Ethereum needs to do is maintain above 2.3k. Now, I do recommend you to go and check my Bitcoin update. I showed you the exact level it needs to hold and reverse from in order to continue breaking out. That would also allow ETH to finally push through 2.8k and target 3.6k. There will be a struggle at an earlier level, 3.2k, but it might just stagnate a bit and then continue higher. So my expectation is from this move, we will see Ethereum at 3.6k, and then we'll take it from there, because this could be considered a macro lower high in this area. Let me try and show you an example. So can you see this dip over here? If I were to zoom in, you can see that this is a completed dump. So with my fibs, I can place them. And you can see it pumped all the way into the 886, but there was no break of it. So it reversed and eventually went back down to the lows. It didn't lose the low, so it tries it once again. This time it actually broke through the 886. So now we have different expectations. The 1272 becomes a minimal target, and that's exactly where it got rejected. So you can see on a micro basis, if you break the 886, you tap into this target area 1. Now let's zoom out for Ethereum. If we break the macro 886 3.6k, we're going to hit 5.5k minimum. But remember the previous example, it pumped into the 886 and eventually went back to the range lows. So if we zoom out and look at it on the macro sense, that's as if it's pumping into here and then coming back to the lows, but because it doesn't lose the lows, it's double bottom and eventually breaks out and hits 5.5k. That's wild, because that is what pretty much happened all in this small range. That could happen in a large range as well. So this is why I like to break down the moves, and at least as of now, just target that area and not beyond it. Then wait to see what sort of rejection we get, because looking at this example here with this micro pullback, and this is just the macro pullback, so it's the exact same thing. You got a massive move back up into the 886, but no close above. Only when it closed above in the future did it hit those higher price targets. So without that close above, those higher price targets are never happening, only when it closes above. So that could then suggest it could be a macro lower high in this area. It could be a top here. So that's why I'm cautious. The move, but with how Bitcoin is playing out, it's going to make a new all-time high. The assumption is that it will break through this, of course. But as of now, that's the target, 3.6k as a potential local top. And then wait for the pullback or consolidation. Once that 886 is broken, just like you saw in this smaller example, it hit the 1272. So it's just going to be a rejection area that needs to use this 3.2 to 4k as support, this macro support. It was previously macro resistance. By breaking through this, flipping its support, gives us the trigger to get up into there. As you can see, there are higher price targets. In order to continue to 8k, that area where everything changed needs to maintain, and you will see continuation into 6.5 to 8k as the final target. At least that's my what my strategy is suggesting. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share if you want to learn how to do this on your own exactly like I do, using TradingView easily, smoothly, but identifying the candlesticks, the candlestick patterns, how to use the Fibonacci's and what expectations you should have, and when biases should change. Check out the ebook or the mentorship plans. If you just want further updates, check out the Discord community as well.